Well, the road to Qatar begins right here for Mozambique and the Côte d'Ivoire as they both begin their Group D qualification campaign in Maputo at the Estadio do Zambetto. Well, the members of Mozambique have never qualified for the FIFA World Cup, and well, it's going to be a long road for them, just like all of these nations across the beautiful African continent, as they go on a long search to try and get themselves that golden ticket that will take them to Qatar 2022. For Mozambique, well, they'll start off with this very bit stern test, if you like, up against the Côte d'Ivoire. They'll be looking to try and beat them for the very first time, and they have a lot of challenges ahead, obstacles, call them what you like, but Cameroon, of course, who will host the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations just in January, are one of the other top teams, of course, in Group D, along with the Côte d'Ivoire and Malawi, the Flames there, who will also be in action against Cameroon a little bit later on today. But beautiful conditions here because of the health situation. Of course, there are just a few important people in the stadium, of course, making sure that this match actually takes place. But besides that, of course, we can obviously see that strict COVID regulations are being put in place here in Mozambique to protect everybody's health. But on the pitch a bit later on, I think we'll have some entertaining football. As I mentioned, Mozambique never qualified for a FIFA World Cup previously, but they have managed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations, and on 4 occasions, the last time in 2010. But as far as the FIFA World Cup, they will be starting their campaign here against the Côte d'Ivoire, who are seasoned and experienced participants, having qualified on 3 occasions. The first in 2006 and in 2010 and 2014. Of course, one of the key players for the Côte d'Ivoire that everybody will recognize is, of course, Didier Drogba, who actually came along and actually moved into a coaching role at one point in the build-up to the World Cup in 2010. And coming in to follow and replace Uli Stielike for a period of time. But for the Côte d'Ivoire, they've got the Frenchman who is looking to try and bring them success here on the road. It's Patrice Baumel. And he is a coach who's quite interesting because he worked under Hervé Renard for the past decade, basically, and working very much alongside him at Angola. And then for USM Alger, one of the top teams in Algeria in 2011, and then linking up with the Chipolopolo, the Zambian national football team, on their quest to get themselves continental success in the Africa Cup of Nations. And then he finally got his chance to take over as the coach of Côte d'Ivoire, and this is a fantastic opportunity for him to try and take Côte d'Ivoire through qualification and get them their ticket to Qatar 2022. Well, there are certain players who will not be able to be available because of either injury or not being released, and but there's still 2 very strong teams that we've got out here on the pitch for this opening Group D encounter. That's guaranteed. As the conditions 27 degrees and a little bit of a breeze, hardly any humidity, and a perfect scenario. And just to put you in the picture, we're down here in southeastern Africa. Of course, Mozambique bordered by the Indian Ocean to the east, Tanzania to the north, Malawi and Zambia to the northwest, Zimbabwe to the west, and Eswatini, South Africa, down to the southeast. It's the dry season, so that's why the conditions absolutely perfect for this FIFA World Cup qualifier for Qatar 2022.
FIFA Qatar 2022 entre as seleções de Moçambique e da Costa do Marfim. É um jogo aguardado com enormes expectativas. Começamos, obviamente, por ver como é que a Seleção Nacional de Moçambique vai apresentar-se de início. Guarda-redes Siluane, depois temos Nhaca com a camisola número 2.
Thank you for joining us here at the Stadio do Zimbeto in the capital of Mozambique, Maputo. This is a FIFA World Cup qualifying match from Africa for Qatar 2022 and the opening clash for these two nations in Group D. It is Mozambique coming up against the Côte d'Ivoire. Mozambique never qualified for a FIFA World Cup, and with the Côte d'Ivoire, well, they've made 3 appearances, with their last appearance coming just a few years ago in Brazil in 2014. Now it's time for the two anthems before we take a closer look at the two teams.
Com a presença dos oficiais da CAF, da FIFA, junto ao relevado para o início desta cerimónia popular. Acabamos de ouvir os hinos dos outros países.
They're the two national anthems for this clash. It is a very important FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 qualifying clash. Mozambique, we've got Silouan in goal there with Junior Alexandre, Luis Mikison, who is just an absolute star player in this Mozambique squad, just signing recently for Al Ahly, the Red Devils of Cairo, of course, coached by Pitso Mosimane. Watch out for him, he's got a sweet left foot. Tozan Norberto Mandava, Naka and Nangi there, and the coach is the man who's just taken over, Horacio Gonçalves, the 58-year-old from Portugal. Missing a few key players. There's no veteran. Dominguez, Mexer is missing as well in Kambala and Camo. These are some of the key players that are missing from this Mozambique squad. But Horacio Gonçalves making the decision in bringing in some fresh blood to mix in with some of the veterans to create what he hopes will be a winning mix to take on the giants of West Africa, the Côte d'Ivoire. There's the Burundian match official, Mr. Ndabi Hawenemana, with compatriots running the line, and the fourth official, Gadagato George, as well, from Burundi. For the Côte d'Ivoire, also missing some players, of course, but they've still got a very strong team. Sylvain Gaboho, the former Tipe Mazembe goalkeeper, without a club at the moment. He'll be holding fort at the back with Diomande, Conan Kamara, Kosunu, very important player. Watch out for him. Max Gradel is the Silver Sport player, with Seri D in the midfield running the show. The captain plays in Switzerland. Sebastian Haller, giant centre forward, plays for Ajax. Watch out for him, 6'3", quality throughout, even though they are missing a few key players. Doesn't really affect them, of course, because they've got an abundance of talent over in the Côte d'Ivoire and across the world, of course, playing for their different teams. As you can see, no sign of Eric Bailly, Willy Bolly, or Jean-Michel Maxwell Cornet either. Well, it's the start of this Group D encounter between Mozambique and Côte d'Ivoire, a FIFA World Cup qualifying match for Qatar 2022, being played here at the Stadio do Zimpeto. Where the national team plays, there's a bit of a breeze that's being felt here in the Mozambique capital. So the players will have to understand and read that, especially with the high ball. Mozambique looking to try and get off to a flying start in their Group D campaign. Just the one team qualifies for a series of knockout matches, because we've got lots of groups with lots of teams playing, of course, and well, there's a good opportunity to begin on a positive note with home advantage. Côte d'Ivoire trying to push that ball down that right side. Attempt to pick out Kouassi. Thrown being taken here by Nacha. Very calmly done. Here's Luis Mikison. Played more than 50 matches for Simba in Tanzania. Played some electrifyingly good football in the Total Energies African Champions League this year. And all of a sudden, snapped up by Pitso Mosimane, the head coach and former coach of Mamelodi Sundowns, but now with Al Ahly, the most successful team in Africa. Well, there's a good opportunity here, and the ball comes out, and there's a low shot, and it just goes wide off the target. But a very bright start. Max Gradel giving himself a little bit of space, but just not hitting the target finally. He just puts it on his right foot and tries to unleash that shot. Scuffs it marginally. Côte d'Ivoire with a bit of time and space, but there was a poor pass by Maiga. Wide. Towards Camara.
Hey, Bruno! Calma!
Mickey Son picking the ball up. Pinched from underneath his nose by Sangare. Ibrahim Sangare. Throw in for the Côte d'Ivoire. It's going to be a free kick for the Côte d'Ivoire, just a handful of meters just outside of the penalty box. Good opportunity for them to try something from this position. Just got blocked a little bit, Ibrahim Sangare. Gradel with that right foot of his will try and send something in. Try and pick out some of the big guys. Haller being one of them, the Ajax man. Gradel's free kick headed away before he could get anywhere near an elephant. So the ball's been kicked back in, took a deflection, and they can go and pick that back up. Oh, some great defensive play at the back. That was top class there coming from Norberto. Communication breakdown. Max Gradel just applauding his teammates and the build-up play that they're trying to put together here. They gave the ball away quite easily to Max Gradel the last time. It's not something they want to do. They might want to, well, think about pushing up a little bit further, playing very deep, just enabling the Ivorians to wander up and pick out pockets of space to try and create another phase of attack. Seridi working well. And cut out perfectly at the back by Tozen. The 22-year-old plays for Black Bulls. Here's Max Gradel. Seri D trying to find that perfect ball through the middle. It does get picked up by Haller. And out wide, the chance for Côte d'Ivoire. There's the delivery. It's drilled away. First time inside of the 6-yard box, but still in possession. Well, that's good work from Kouassi. They still got the ball. Is that a handball? Looked like it was handled, but in fact, it will be a free kick for the Côte d'Ivoire, for Mozambique.
Vai, estica, cigano, estica. Estica, estica, vai. Hernani, joga.
Silouane fires the ball up into Ivorian territory, goes out for a throw-in. And they'll start again and start building from the back, like they always do. Winners of the Africa Cup of Nations in 2015. And the free kick on the captain, Junior. And there's the Ajax of front man just barging through. Seri D this time. Sorry, Kouassi. Player based in China for Wuhan. You can actually look at the talent that they've got in this Ivorian team. I mean, it's just very, very profound. Not mentioning the players who are not here in Maputo for this opening Group D encounter for the Elephants. Max Gradel, oh, he tries to just push the ball past the Mozambique midfielder, Mate, but the block was made. Good strong defensive play at the back from Tozen. It's good work by Côte d'Ivoire out to Max Gradel. He's going to take on his man. He's going to put it on the right foot. Cross comes in. A bit too easy for the Mambas to deal with at the back. It's good first-time clearance coming in from the goalkeeper, Sylvain Guboho. And the foul committed. Côte d'Ivoire pick up possession in their own half. Goalless after 10 minutes played here in Maputo. Mozambique 0, Côte d'Ivoire 0. This first Group D clash between these two nations, battling it out to finish top of the pile, along with Cameroon and Malawi. Those two nations will be in action a little bit later on tonight. Coach Horacio Gonçalves just taking over earlier this year as the head coach of Mozambique. 58-year-old from Portugal with plenty of experience, not just as a coach, but also as a player. Predominantly in the second division in Portugal for Varzim and Fafe back in the 80s and the 90s. He's brought with him a group of individuals to try and lead Mozambique to Qatar. And the flag went up, hence the reason why it all came to a standstill, and he didn't pursue his darting run down that left side corner. His assistant coach, Victor Martinez, he was the manager of Mozambique. He was the coach of Mozambique in July 2019, and also a teacher as well at the same time. But he came up through the under-20s, under-23s. He was also someone who came in to replace Abel Xavier, familiar name in world football, of course. 20 caps playing for Portugal, but fine career playing for the legendary club from the Portuguese capital, Lisbon, Benfica, and of course on the Merseyside for both of those teams in the Premier League, Everton and Liverpool. And Victor Martinez also got Adilson Sataka, and the goalkeeper coach, Helder Kossa. That's the team that he's brought in. Oh, Max Gradel just slipping, looking at the laces there. Ball goes out for a throw-in for Mozambique. A lot of the possession is in the Mamba's half. Norberto just getting a little pull there from Halle. Max Gradel trying to interlink with his teammates just down that left side. Curtailed by the Mambas. Still waiting for Mickey Son to get hold of the ball and produce some of that wizardry that he produced for Simba in 2021. Trouble is, of course, the West Africans are very physical, and they are very well organized. And they will have done their homework to try and extract the wily forward out of the equation. There he is trying to produce some link-up play with his teammates, but they're just being surrounded by Ivorians. Not very easy. Ball picked up by Junior, the captain. At the back is Norberto. And over to Tozen. Kosovo smashing the ball away, giving the home side possession just at the back in the Ivorian half. Nice little moment. Once again, they're just too physical at the moment. Max Gradel picks the ball up down the left-hand side. Little change of flanks there. It's a great ball over to the right-hand side as they push forward. Excellent work to go down towards the byline. The ball's been cleared quite comfortably by Junior. A strong challenge coming in. And Kawasi down on the ground. Claiming there was more to it than was signaled by the referee. Seems to be fine. Well, he still managed to get his crossover. And the ball just bouncing off the head of Nasa. First corner for Côte d'Ivoire, first corner of the encounter. And here's the delivery. The far post, and the goalkeeper, Silouane, comes out, punches it away. Infringement called by the linesman and the referee. And it's a free kick for Mozambique, who are holding fort. I think the arms went up and there was small infringement there. Mickey Son trying to just lay off the ball to his teammate down the right-hand side, and successfully on that occasion. Junior tidying up at the back, very calm, very collected. Silouane. It's good work. Here is Mickey Son.
Voilà, Pouceau, Mathéo Pouceau.
So then back to Junior. Still has possession, trying to turn and pull the ball past Conan. Not easy because he's quite a burly character. As we see Horacio Gonçalves coming now out of his seat to address things with his players, his forwards predominantly. Defense is doing pretty well. Now he wants his midfield and forwards to try and produce something a little bit more sharpish up front. The Côte d'Ivoire pushing up down that right side. Oh, that's good work. Kwasi picks the ball up. What can he do? Get his crossover, and it comes back off a Mozambique player at the back, and it will be a corner. Patrice Baumel, the 43-year-old from Arles, south of France. Did really well to just find a little bit of space and dart down that right-hand side. Max Gradel once again with the right foot, 20th minute. There's the delivery into the penalty box. Anyone there to pounce on it? No. And headed back into the penalty box, easily taken. Snatched out of the air by Silouane. But trying to pick out Mickey Son on his own. Kind of isolated and away from any teammates against a very strong and tall defense that the Côte d'Ivoire boast. Not easy. Gradel gets his crossover, headed away by Tozen. It will be more attacking possession here for the Côte d'Ivoire. Max Gradel. Blustery wind blowing through. This is Stadio do Zimpeto. Here's the delivery from Gradel. Go very high over the top. The big man at the back, and, well, the goalkeeper takes it, and it was controlled by Tozen initially. When you've got Haller, he's such a giant player. He's 6'3", the Ajax man. He's born in France. Dad is French. Spent a bit of time traveling around playing for a few clubs, and including Utrecht in the Netherlands and Eintracht Frankfurt. And of course, West Ham, before linking up with Ajax. Norberto doesn't hold back with his challenges, the way that he plays the physical game, as you can see. Max Gradel, he's the delivery man for the Côte d'Ivoire here today in Maputo. Ball comes out to Conan. Pyramids man plays in Egypt. Here's Conan, that's a decent cross that is, and it wasn't cleared first time from Tozen, but there's no Ivorian in place to try and tidy that up in the penalty box. That's very slick work here with the ball picked up by Kouassi. Ball fired over to the edge of the penalty box, and goalkeeper pounces on it, Silouane. Côte d'Ivoire lacking that extra touch, that little bit of extra venom up front, as Mickey Son gets away from his man. Still, well, there's the initial infringement before he started to wander away from his marker. Very fine skills indeed. But unable to get the pass out to a teammate. Referee was quick to react. Mr. Ndabe Hawenimana. Now, what can they do with this? Ball goes down into the corner. Norberto unable to latch onto that and get a header back across the goal. Goes out for a goal kick. Sylvain Gabo, the 32-year-old, 59 caps playing for the Côte d'Ivoire. I mean, he's been such a wonderful servant for TP Mazembe, former winners of the African Champions League, one of the third most successful team in the Champions League. Well, that's a good through ball, that is, and Seb Ali for the Côte d'Ivoire. That's a good save, that is, and the strike, well, he was under a lot of pressure to produce the shot. He goes down, but the save has been made by Silouane. The through ball, absolutely sumptuous. Comes off his shoulder, and then finally gets the strike in. But look at the backpedaling from the defender there, Tozen, just comes in and gets himself in the way. And of course the reaction from the players of the Côte d'Ivoire, just looking at how they went down. And the good news is that the Ajax front man is back up on his feet. Watched on by Patrice Baumel.
Vamos, 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 vamos! Leva, vai. Ganha terreno, vai. Ganha terreno.
Mozambique pushing forward, looking for that scoring opportunity. Will they get it? Well, that's neatly done. That's excellent support play down the right-hand side. Is that an attempt to try and drag the ball back and deceive the goalkeeper? Comes to nothing. There is danger there with Melke really working hard up front. Norberto as well getting involved.
Vamos! Atenção, bola nas costas! Vamos lá, Pedro! Vamos lá, Zaina! Vem com ele, man! Fecha, Martins, fecha mais! Vamos nas costas! Pedro, caralho!
Côte d'Ivoire pushing forward once again. Here's Kouassi. Nice and neat, slick work, but it's a little bit too far away for Kouassi to do anything.
Vai pra frente, Bruno.
Oh, no free kick awarded. Norberto at the back. That's a very fine piece of play, that is, just to get past his marker. But the final pass is just not good enough, and Côte d'Ivoire picking the ball up and pushing forward. Here is Halek. That ball's just been cut up by Tozen, who's been very sharp at the back and just making the right decisions, and his timing is impeccable. And I think they need that at the moment, because you can see that the Côte d'Ivoire pushing forward and they're trying to prise open this Mamba's defense. Not that easy at the moment. Very well organized. Mega. Here's Conan. And the ball pulled back to Mega once again. Goes for the shot. It's a tame-ish shot. Watched quite easily there by Siluanum. Easily taken by the goalkeeper, this Mozambique team. The bobbling, bouncing ball that really didn't perturb the goalkeeper at the back. That's a logical free kick. Good work by Mate to just get in there ahead of Mega. At the half-hour mark, and we are still goalless here between Mozambique and the Côte d'Ivoire. This is a Group D battle for an FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 African qualifying campaign. Ball passed out to the left-hand side. Mozambique just moving up a little bit into a deeper part of the pitch than on a couple of occasions in the last 5 minutes. Junior, captain, leading by example at the back. Well, somehow manages to keep hold of the ball. That's great work from Conan. And two players surrounding him, he still used that fine physique to protect the ball and get hold of the throw-in, as you can see. 50th match for Wilfred Cannon. on loan to Khalifa at the moment, the Qatari team. So he'll know a lot about the destination where all of those who managed to qualify will join them, of course, in Qatar. That's a poor pass from the goalkeeper.
Sobe. Bola. Sobe. Sobe.
Diomande Serie D. Good use of the pitch, using the space over on that far side. Mandava bringing down Kouassi. Max Gradel with that right foot of his, looking to deliver the perfect free kick. Again, the Côte d'Ivoire putting pressure on the Mozambique defence. Will they get their opening on this occasion? Good time to score. There's never a bad time to score. Gradel's delivery. Once again, it doesn't get past the first defender. Kouassi just hauling down the defender. Mate, the forward, more so.
Leva, Martinho, calma. Ei, Hernani, sobe, sobe, sobe. Rápido.
Well, it was a perfect period, wasn't it, for the Côte d'Ivoire in 2015 when they managed to win the Africa Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea, winning that final against Ghana in Bata. The penalty shootout, 22 penalties. In fact, the penalty shootout scenario for the Côte d'Ivoire has been a part of their history in the continental competition. Same back in 1992, and they beat Ghana once again, 11-10, 24 penalties were taken, finally. And in 1992, when they managed to win, that was their first title. 2015, so the two AFCON titles. And then on the back of that 2015 qualification, they just came after the World Cup in 2014, didn't manage to qualify for Russia. 2010, 2014, of course, that period with all of the quality players that they had. The Toure brothers. And a lot of the players that are actually in this squad. The likes of Serie D and Serge Aurier, Eric Bailly, the Manchester United defender, and Gervinho picking up an injury and missing out on this clash as they have another free kick over on that far side. There's the free kick for the Côte d'Ivoire. Down to 9 minutes to go in the first half. Ball just creeps across the line, and it will be Mozambique who will pick up possession and a goal kick.
Regardez le ballon, les gars. Passe au ballon. Attention.
Ei, não põe a bola no meio.
Ok, vamos lá.
Shakir,
On est bien là, on est
vai lá,
bien.
vai lá. Vai lá. Shakir,
Tá bom, legal,
dá
tá
opção
bom.
no meio. Dá opção no meio.
Allez. Ok.
Vamos lá. Fez aí. Sobe não.
Côte d'Ivoire in possession.
Sobe.
Just Beaumel's men trying to work their magic. Cannon down the left-hand side. It's the ball up to Max Gradel, but once again, the accuracy in the passing falling short marginally and giving the ball back to the Mambas. Working well to keep possession, Sangare. Unable to get that final touch. Here's Diomande. Seri D. Diomande. Oh, that's a risky pass, that is. Once again, Mozambique just playing so deep. It's more of a defensive style of play for the Mambas rather than pushing forward, which makes sense up against the Côte d'Ivoire. They're dangerous right across the field, so one tactic that could be used by Horacio Gonçalves, I imagine, is the counter-attack, but they need to get themselves into a good attacking position when the Ivorians are back down in their own half, like right now. But that pass is a poor one. A little bit of lady luck and a chance to try and get hold of the ball. That's good work at the back. Very solid defensive play there from Kouassi, but finally it bounces back off, and this is Mozambique's first corner, just 5 minutes before the end of the first half. Perseverance from Mandava, and a chance for Luis Mikison to try and send over the perfect corner. How many players will come up? Well, you've got Tozen, the big centre-back. He's Mr. Precision, this man, so watch out. Here's the delivery from Mikison. Mozambique looking to try and upset the apple cart. There's a shot. And I think that may be the first shot for Mozambique, 40 minutes in. Coming from Langa. Diomande back to Gaboho. Still goalless here at the Estadio do Zimpeto here in Maputo, capital of Mozambique. Opening clash for these two teams in Group D, FIFA World Cup Qualifier for Qatar 2022. Cameroon, Malawi. The indomitable Lions up against the Flames later this evening. Long ball fired upfield, but Langa unable to get anywhere near that. A bit of pressure from the Mambas just when the Ivorians pick up possession. It's something that they've got to continue to do and continue to do in the second half. The only way you're going to wrestle the ball off the Ivorians is really tightly mark them. They're very physical, but they're also very technical, and they do well to protect the ball in a big way. Kind of a trademark for the West Africans in most of the team sports that are played. Nigeria are the same, very physical. Ghana and Senegal. Those nations producing some of the best African players. It's very slick play there by Norberto. Does really well. That final pass is just not good enough. Sangre, that's a good ball down to Kwasi. Kwasi, if he can get a crossover, well, he does indeed, but that is just not good enough. It goes out of play. It comes back in. Throwing it is for Mozambique with Nasa. Into the last minute of the first half. Ball goes back to Sylvain Gaboho. Picked up by Korsnu. Down the right-hand side. Some nice slick, there's a nice slick 1-2 and a chance to try and get a decent cross in. The cross does come in. Oh, there's Ali unable to latch onto that properly. Could have potentially left it for his teammate who was charging through. Mega, but when you're that tall, you just think that you can literally lift yourself up a little bit higher than even anybody who's coming in behind you. 6'3", of course, a giant. And a perfect size for a striker or centre-back. Unable to latch onto that and really test Silouan, who hasn't been tested, just like Sylvain Gaboho. In fact, not too many shots at all in this first 45 minutes. I'd just like to say that they're probably just testing the water rather than going full out for goals. As Mozambique continue to push forward. We've got 1 minute of added time before we wrap up the first half of this Group D battle. Pushing forward down this right side with Nasa getting the ball to Alexandra Melke. They do have a free kick, and this will logically be the last chance of the first half. Well, Serie D, he has most definitely the fighting spirit. The FC Sion player based in Switzerland. There's a chance. Mickey Son's shot goes high. And, well, once again, none of these two teams able to prise open the defense and get themselves a goal. And that is the end of the first half. Mozambique 0, the Côte d'Ivoire 0 here at the Estadio do Zimbeto in this Group D encounter, the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. If few scoring chances. Hopefully we'll get more in the second half. So the half-time scoreline here in Maputo, Mozambique 0, Côte d'Ivoire 0. We'll take a break. Second half coming up soon.
Qui le touche? Vous savez. Qui le touche? Vous savez.
T'as pas ça. Calme, Hernani. Calme. Calme. Calme, Hernani.
Mesais!
Bola. Calma.
Mesais!
Bola. Calma.
Ok! Ok!
Atenção, Marquinhos! Bola! Calma! Nothing! Bola! Calma! Nothing!
Hé les gars, on doit prendre ici d'abord, comme les effets les gars. Il a tout seul au milieu ici. Sors, pas folle. Hé les gars, on doit prendre ici d'abord, comme les effets les gars. Il a tout seul au milieu ici.
No meio no jogo! Vai uma boa, você toca na área. Meio no jogo! Vai uma boa, você toca na área. Hey, qu'est-ce que
Avance Ibra, viens Ibra. Zeb.
Hey, qu'est-ce que
Avance Ibra, viens Ibra. Zeb.
you for joining us for the second half of this Group D encounter. We're talking about an African qualifying match for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. As it stands, Côte d'Ivoire and Mozambique are goalless after the first 45 minutes. Will we get goals in the second half is the big question. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Mozambique making a change with one, possibly two players coming on. And I can just tell you that that player who's just managed to walk onto the pitch is Nilton Ernesto. And there is Mate, who's actually gone off. So let's see what Ernesto can conjure up. One of the players just in that midfield and looking to try and provide us with a little bit of magic. The 24-year-old who plays for Costa do Sol, one of the top teams in Mozambique, of course, and this is his sixth match. Time then for the second half here in Maputo for this Group D encounter. It's a FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 clash. Mozambique, Côte d'Ivoire, goalless after 45 minutes, looking to try and see some goals as the Côte d'Ivoire push forward once again, spilling that attacking prowess into the second half. Tozen has been a stalwart defender at the back. Kamara takes the throw-in. Côte d'Ivoire looking for that first goal. And Halle unable to get a bit of power behind that cross. The Ajax centre forward being marked tightly by Norberto. Defensive header just to get rid of the ball at the back by Korsnu. Under a little bit of pressure from Langa. Plays his football for Chavez, second division. Uzbekistan back up on his feet. Korsnu spreading the ball out wide. That was a 50-50 challenge in the midfield there. Seridi showing us his combative skills that he possesses. A wonderful midfielder, very strong, very hard player to deal with, if ever he's in possession or if ever he's defending as well. It's a decent block, that is. They're pushing forwards, and the Côte d'Ivoire, a little bit of opportunism there with the delivery coming across, but it's just not good enough. Maiga firing the ball over to absolutely no one because they weren't pushing forward, getting up into those dangerous positions. Max Gradel gives the ball back to his teammate. Will be a throw-in for the Côte d'Ivoire once again. Moving into enemy territory, but unable to really produce the shots and the goals that we've seen them score over the years. A few players moving up into good attacking positions here. A little bit of support coming as well. Just over to the right-hand side. And it's a shot, kind of cross from Kamara, easily taken by Silouan. I think it was a shot, but if knowing that maybe one of his teammates could have drifted across and latched onto it. Don't really want to play with fire at the back. Not with a giant centre forward in front of you either, in Sébastien Seb Haller.
Hey, foot on ground, foot on the ground.
Horacio Gonçalves, 58-year-old coach, did the league, won the league and the cup with Costa do Sol, top teams in Mozambique, Primera Division. Actually called the Mozambola is the name of the league. Ball at the back, Costanu. Well, if Mozambique ups the tempo, pushed forward a little bit more aggressive up front, they might manage to snatch a goal. You can just feel that the Côte d'Ivoire, of course, they're missing some key players, Eric Bailly, Willy Bowley, and Maxwell Cornet, amongst others. Juvinho. Some of these players were so influential for the Côte d'Ivoire that maybe they're taking a bit of time just to work things out and find the right structure as they try and break down the Mozambique defense, but they have opportunities here. They may need to just, as I said, increase the tempo, be a bit more aggressive. As the ball comes across, and then a shot coming in, and that shot was comes straight off a Mozambique player. There's a Sangare unable to get a clean shot on goal to really test Siluana. Hasn't had that much to do, to be honest with you. Conditions not made easier with the wind, as you can see. It's a very open stadium here, Stadio do Zimpeto. And when the wind blows, you feel it. Ball came off the referee, so it will be a get the ball back, the attacking team. There's Mandava. Oh, it's nicely done. Mandava picking the ball up. Here he is, the Lillois gets the ball past his defender unsuccessfully. But it has been cleared at the back. Good cover play from Camara. Mozambique just injecting a little bit of speed into their attack, thanks to Mandava. Spent time playing for Benfica.
Back forward! Back forward! So!
There'll be a throw in for the Côte d'Ivoire. Struck against Ernesto, substitute, coming on for the second period. Camara again, clearing the ball comfortably at the back. Good ball down the right-hand side, picked up by Ernesto. Waits for the cavalry to arrive. Under a little bit of pressure. Oh, that pass, not good enough. Just trying to get the ball over down that right-hand side to the same player. Nangui at fault. Côte d'Ivoire pushing forward, cutting inside is a good opportunity here. Once again, trying to do a little bit too much, maybe. Was Kouassi. Nicely done, good slick passing. And a chance for Mozambique. Goes down towards the byline, tries to get past his man. Well, that was unfortunate by Langa. He did everything right. Camara stood his ground and prevented him from sneaking and slipping the ball past last man. Sangare back to his defenders. They push forward, the head's lifted. Serie D. His camera down the right-hand side. Foul committed by Kouassi, and it will be a free kick for Mozambique and Tozen. And another change. And this time Melke is going to come off. We're being replaced there by Kanhembe, Amancio Kanhembe. Player to bring on, Maritimo man. 23 years of age, plays in Portugal. It's a good ball, it's a fine ball indeed. A good opportunity here. Mickey Son working well, but again, the Ivorian defenders back in position. Communication there was very good. Kanhembe just coming on and then already making his mark. He'll provide Mozambique with a bit more physical impact with the strong defenders that the Côte d'Ivoire boast. Just in front of this man, Sylvain Gabohu. Been around, started playing for Soe Sports back home in the Côte d'Ivoire. 11 minutes into the second half, goalless here. Good work by Sangare, the cross coming into the penalty area, and there's a chance there was for Halle. But once again, he can't match Tozen in the air. Under a bit of pressure, but Tozen do really well. He was in front of him, and the spring header flies over the woodwork. Mickey Son just knocked off the ball there by Camara. And good work there from the goalkeeper, just to read the situation very well ahead of Max Gradel. Max Gradel moving to the UK when he was 17. Played, of course, for Leicester City and Bournemouth and Leeds, Toulouse, also Saint-Etienne. He played over 100 matches for the Greens. Tanajef Waguichar. Played at the 2014 World Cup as well. This will be his 87th match for the Côte d'Ivoire. Free kick. And of course, Gradel will be on this, looking to pick out one of his teammates. Gradel goes directly for the shot. That's a fantastic save from Silouane. Direct free kick going into the corner. Silouane leaps up and parries the ball away to safety. Well, he really does have a sweet right foot, doesn't he? That is a sensational strike. But how about that for a save as well? A bullet shot parried away. Gradel with the corner. Picked up by Maiga. Cannon chips the ball, and the offside flag has gone up. A little bit unlucky there, I must admit. Kouassi just drifting a little bit too far behind the last defender. Free kick. And a little bit of safety for the Mambas. Nice touch, good work. Are they getting the ball back to Gradel? Good slick passing from Côte d'Ivoire. And the cross coming in from Camara, a little bit tame. Isn't really to anybody. At the other end, Miki Son trying to conjure up a counter with the quick ball upfield by Silouan. Extinguished quite quickly.
Calma, Martin. Tá bom aí. Fica mais perto. Atenção, Zeina. Leva aí.
Nice work, good control in the midfield. The attempted ball up over the top, behind the defence. Falls a little bit too short. Here's Kosnu, the 20-year-old. Plays football in Germany for Leverkusen. Came through the academy at ASEC Mimosas, team that's been prolific. Not recently, but providing us with some wonderful football over the years in the African Champions League. Former winners, of course. And that ball, when going over the top, Max Gradel will not say no to a loose ball at the far post. And Côte d'Ivoire with a chance for a header, and the flag has gone up. Kouassi coming in and latching onto that. Well, looks like Mega's going to come off. There you go, Habib Mega. And Jeremy Boga's going to come on to replace him. 24-year-old France under-19s player. He's now in Italy for Sassuolo. Kouassi. Frank Bolion for Kouassi. He's the Ferencváros player in Hungary. Throwing it is for Mozambique. The other players for the Côte d'Ivoire missing, of course, Wilfried Zaha and Nicolas Pepe. That's the some of those key players that are not with the Côte d'Ivoire, not with Patrice Baumel, that would normally, well, there'll probably be some of the first players that you put in on the team sheet. Before then, you enter the mind games of trying to pick out your ideal starting 11. But with numerous players absent, of course, it makes life a little bit more complicated. There's also a good chance to give other players a good chance as Mozambique push forward. That's a good ball down to the left-hand side, but just look at this defensive cover from Camara. That was outstanding. And Langa didn't really have a chance, but they still have possession. More substitutions coming in. Well, this has been quite disappointing for him, I imagine. Luis Miki Son, player who probably expected to put in a better game. Katamu comes on. It's not a bad replacement, I can tell you that. And off comes Langa. Bruno Langa. Stavao Novella comes on. 25-year-old plays for Liga Desportiva. Plenty of changes. A chance Mozambique trying to get the ball across. It's cleared first time, but only as far as that man, Nassa. And it just goes over the line. It will be a throw-in for Mozambique. As I said, with all of these Ivorian players, some of the biggest stars from the Côte d'Ivoire, they do have an opportunity here to try get themselves a win. Also knowing that there are players who are absent for Mozambique. Horacio Gonçalves without Dominguez, Mexer, Kambala, Camu. That's very fine play if it was defeat, but it's not. And they're giving the ball back to Mozambique. He was darting up that left-hand side, Boga, the Serie A-based player. Just a little bit too fast, overcooked, in fact. Serie D. We are still without any goals here for this Group D encounter. It's FIFA World Cup Qatar qualifier for 2022. 65 minutes gone. And these two teams holding each other in deadlock. Serie D, the midfield marvel. Nesta wins the throw-in just in front of the Côte d'Ivoire coach there, Patrice Baumel. Here is Mandava.
Ora, concentra, sempre vivo, toque na minha área. Não tem nada aí, não há nada aí. Sem falta, sem falta. Sem falta. Vai uma bola. Então é isso aí. Leva a bola. Leva.
It's a very fine, slick pass, that is. And a shot coming in once again. The goalkeeper pushed to his limits there, Silouan. And the shot's coming right through the middle from Bolly. And you never know with this wind. Fine strike with the right foot. Pulls it a little bit too far to the left. Not too far off the target, though. Côte d'Ivoire would love to get themselves qualified for the World Cup, just like any nation would, of course, but especially Côte d'Ivoire having qualified in 2006, 10 and 14. Win a corner here, Mozambique.
Ouais, j'ai dit seul, les gars, arrêtez de parler pour parler. J'ai dit seul, il était seul. J'étais seul, mon fils, mais c'est bien. Prenez votre joueur.
What can they do with this corner?
Chacun prend son joueur.
Et il y a le 13 qui vient. Le 17 là, les gars.
Horacio Gonçalves
Et le 14 est seul.
on his feet, giving out the orders. Here's Katama.
On a le temps de sortir, Marc.
Katama's delivery, well, it's come straight to the front post. Kamara clears. And taken forward by Boga. Mozambique with the throw-in. Mambas. Not feeling the weight of being underdogs, Mozambique. Was definitely committed to try and getting themselves a victory. There's no complex here. You can see that just the way that the coach Horacio Gonçalves has studied the Côte d'Ivoire, who are lacking numerous key players, but it's the same scenario for Mozambique. They've most definitely gave themselves some kind of structure to try and understand how to beat the Côte d'Ivoire. And I think the defensive plan, of course, is one way, knowing that they have to push forward on certain times of the game, but even kicking off their campaign with a point against Côte d'Ivoire is not too bad. The problem is that they will be playing Côte d'Ivoire in Abidjan at one point, and they will be playing Cameroon as well on Cameroonian soil. So it's all about getting a win, really, if you want to have any chance of qualifying, because it's only one team that qualifies from each group, so that makes it a very treacherous campaign indeed. Malawi being the fourth nation, who will hope that the flames will rise high in their clashes in this group as well. Another nation that's never qualified for the FIFA World Cup.
Vai una bola fecha, tutta equipa, che falta, che falta.
Good work down the right-hand side from Camara. It's a really solid block, though, coming in from Mandava. And French Ligue 1 champion last season, of course, with the Nordists of Lille. Max Gradel with the right foot delivers his corner, headed away quite comfortably by the same player, Mandava. Gets the ball back. Played against each other on French soil, those two, Max Gradel and Mandava. Estevao goes down. Côte d'Ivoire pinch the ball. That will most definitely be a free kick. I was thinking we haven't even had a yellow card in the 72 minutes that we've seen played out here today, which is good. Great discipline. That in itself was quite a feisty challenge, though, coming in. Just bringing down Sangare. Nongi, the player responsible. So Max Gradel logically will get behind this. You've got Seri D as well, who's got a stinging shot on him as well. So maybe he will leave the ball for Max Gradel. That's what he'll do. It's pretty much guaranteed, isn't it? Gradel producing a fine shot from this distance earlier on, and that, on that occasion, goes wide. Took a deflection. A little bit of space and good momentum here. Here's Mandava down the left-hand side. Can he get the ball across? Oh, he just fires very high. Little bobble of the ball and the contact. Wasted opportunity there for Mozambique. But a spirited run down that left flank. Infringement and a free kick for Mozambique. Nongi this time going down. Côte d'Ivoire qualifying for their first World Cup. October 2005, they played in what was called, they like to call it the group of death. Of course, the toughest group is basically the best way to describe it, but getting through Cameroon, Egypt, and beating Sudan. Play with fire at the back. And it's a chance for Mozambique finally. Sylvain-Gbagbo who picks the ball up. The final match in that group, they were second behind Cameroon. And they qualified by beating Sudan 3-1. As Cameroon drew with Egypt, just offering those 3 points to go through as the top team. And then probably the toughest group in the World Cup as well, because they were into that group with Argentina, the Netherlands, and Serbia, Montenegro. Lost their opening clash against Argentina 2-1. But Didier Drogba, scoring the country's first ever goal at a World Cup, of course, the 82nd minute. They then lost 2-1 to the Netherlands, already eliminated. And they came back to beat Serbia 3-2 when they were 2-0 down, to finish at least with on a positive note. And it was Bonaventure Kalou who finished that match with a penalty that enabled them to take those 3 points, but more importantly, win their first ever match at a FIFA World Cup. Those moments, well, they just go down in history. Mozambique, look, well, the foot came up slightly too high. And on Kosunu, who I must admit has been solid at the back, 20-year-old. He's got a deft touch, hasn't he, Mandava? Just lifting that ball into the penalty area. Into the last 15 minutes here, Group D encounter. This is all about qualification for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. And there's so much up for grabs. I know it's difficult to get out of these groups because, well, you just have strong nations throughout, and every tie has its obstacles, but Mozambique, their first home clash here in Group D, up against Côte d'Ivoire. 3 appearances at FIFA World Cups, as I mentioned, one of them 2006, but also the next 2 as well, 2010 in South Africa, and then Brazil in 2014. But anybody's capable of creating a surprise in these African qualifiers. And we're seeing more nations, competitions are being enlarged, and there's more nations and countries that can actually qualify. It's the same for the World Cup in the past decade, but also the Africa Cup of Nations. So teams that have not qualified previously are managing to get themselves those chances, those opportunities. There's another 8 places available. But there's so much quality in Africa and so many great nations, great footballing nations in Africa, that life is not easy getting yourselves out of each group. It's good work over on that far side from Katamo. So looking for the right player to get that ball to. Hassled by the Ivorian midfielders and forwards. Good slick passing as well. This is Mandava trying to get the ball through to Ernesto, that's gone down into no man's land. Kusunu's back in position, just to tidy things up. Serie D not getting the final touch on that before it went out of play. Just didn't go down well with this man here. Horacio Gonçalves. Oh, that's probably not the right pass there from Norberto. Should have used that right side. There was a lot of traffic down the left side and down the middle. It was a good opportunity just to spread it out wide, but his snap pass didn't find a teammate. 10 minutes left. Côte d'Ivoire with Camara. Good ball from Camara into the middle, but again, lacking in Ivorian forwards, putting pressure on the Mozambique goalkeeper. One of a few players in this Mozambique team who play for Club Ferroviario de Maputo in the capital. And it's a big club, and there's a lot of them in Mozambique in terms of teams that have not just a football team but also basketball team, also play volleyball as well. Basketball and football being the main sports. The impact of some of the players that he's brought on has been positive. Gonçalves bringing on the likes of Estevao and Catamo. Good chance here with Max Gradel. Mandava. That's a really good ball as well. And Konhembe picks the ball up. Konhembe just trying to get past his... it's a great challenge from Camara, who just stops him in his path. Well, Taleo goes off. And he's being replaced by Konate. Here is Mandava. Nicely done spreading the ball out wide. Katamo picks the ball up. Needs to get past his man, Katamo. Katamo gets the ball back. Strikes it against the Ivorian defender there. And Diomande, and it goes out for a corner. But it's good work. Very slick footwork. Tries to open it up and get his crossover with that left foot of his. As I said, he's been dangerous since he came on, Katamo. See how well organised the Ivorian defence is. Katamo's corner, high and oh, it's been punched away by the goalkeeper, Gabuhu. And of course, with the wind swirling a little bit and being a bit blustery, needed to just get rid of it. Kanhembe this time. There's a good effort there coming across. Once again, the defence just getting in the way, clearing the danger. Kanhembe again. Well, that's a fantastic challenge, that really is. And that gives them a chance to push forward. Max Gradel trying to move really quickly. A change of flanks could be an option here. Ball comes right over the top. And that is really neatly done. But that might have gone, no, it's still in play. It's good work over the other side by the Sassuolo man. Good pass into the box. The ball comes across. There's a chance for a header. But once again, the Mozambique defence organised at the back and clearing the danger. Cannon. Sangare. So drilled over. Well, that was nearly met by Max Gradel, just behind the defence. Didn't really commit. Silouan did. Two against one, he's done really well. That's a foul that's been committed. A little bit unlucky there, Estevao. Yeah, there was a little bit of both players getting tangled up together. Leaves the ball for his defender, Corsanu, to send it up into Mozambique territory to see if they can once again deal with the Mamba's defense. It hasn't been easy. It's a free kick. We are into the last few minutes of normal time, and it's goalless here between Mozambique and the Côte d'Ivoire. It's a Group D qualifying match, first game of Group D. Cameroon, Malawi will play each other a little bit later on in the first round of matches. Karim Konate, the player who's come on, he's actually a local player from Côte d'Ivoire, plays for ASEC Mimosas. Coming through the academy there. Just playing his first season, but showing fine attacking prowess. Scoring some great goals. As Max Gradel, the Côte d'Ivoire, push forward, gets rid of his man. Or nearly gets rid of his man. That's nicely done. Just comes charging through the middle. Does need to try and latch onto that booger. But the Sassuolo midfielder doesn't strike it cleanly or clean enough. Kind of like the inside of the thigh. Not really a concern for Silouan.
Malta, concentra, Malta. Let's go, get the pass.
Ball coming back to Max Gradel. Again, the Mamba's defence firm and well organised. Nongi doing the business at the back, just to prevent Sangare from doing anything. He gets the ball back as the big midfielder. That's nicely done, trying to get past Mandava. Look at the fight between those two players. Top quality defensive play from Mandava. And honestly, I think that the Patrice Baumel will be quite content with a goalless draw here. He knows that home advantage will be key. He knows that getting a draw away to Cameroon will be pivotal. At the same time, Mozambique are complicated. Got some good players, and even one of their top players not showing off what he's capable of doing. Luis Mikison. A few more minutes for one of these two nations to get a goal. Shake things up in the group a little. Clearance from Junior, the Desportivas de Maputo player. A few teams from South Africa are interested in him. They were Jomo, for example, or the centre-back. Who's going to pinch a winner in the dying moments of this opening Group D encounter? Control just letting him down on that occasion. Estevao he can play on both sides. So play with the left and the right foot. Estevao. Another player for Liga Desportiva. Free kick it is for Mozambique. They want to take it quickly. They have. And the long-range shot flies over the woodwork. Away from stretched hands of Sylvain Gabuhu. Saw an opportunity, tried to take full advantage. Nice work, good control there by Kanahembi. And that will be another free kick. Kosanu. Not a single yellow card has been handed out by the referee, Mr. Ndabia Hoenemana of Burundi. Mandava with the delivery into the penalty area. Anybody up there to latch onto that? Ivorian defenders just queuing up to get rid of the danger. Don't want to concede a goal in the last minutes of added time. They get the ball back. Another scoring opportunity, maybe the last one. Horacio Gonçalves. Mandava. Well, the foot came off the ground during the throw-in, so obviously they're giving the ball back to the Côte d'Ivoire. It's not ideal. As they spread the ball out wide. And Nasser unable to do anything with that. And there's the final whistle. And in this opening Group D encounter, World Cup qualifying match for Qatar 2022. It finishes goalless here between Mozambique and the Côte d'Ivoire in this Group D encounter. Well, a game of few scoring opportunities, but the Côte d'Ivoire unable to prise open the Mozambique defence and get themselves a goal. The home side unable to score a goal that would set them off in a good direction in Group D. But that's it from us. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Côte d'Ivoire 0, Mozambique 0 for this FIFA World Cup Qatar African qualifying match for 2022. Bye-bye.